So guys, today I want to give you my one single key to success. I hear a lot of people say that they want my lifestyle. The business, the first class travel, the penthouses, the cars. And I'm sure a lot of you also look at me and think, I could do better than him. I'm cleverer than him. I'm smarter than him. I'm better spoken than him. I'm better looking than him. Whatever else you might think you're better at. And you know what? You probably are right. There's probably a lot of things that you are a lot better than me at, and I accept that. But I'll tell you one thing that no one can beat me at, and that is consistently being the hardest worker in the room. There's only one thing I am focused on in my life. There's no distractions. One thing, straight tunnel vision. That one thing is being the best version of myself. Taking the talents that I have and maximizing my potential and making sure that I do the most I can with those talents and that I leave a legacy. When I'm in my zone, I know what I need to achieve. I've got my goal. It's not just about the fact that I'm working around the clock and I'm constantly working from the minute I wake up to the minute I go to sleep. I am also working like someone who is possessed. So if you're sat there looking at me thinking you want the things that I have in life, but you want to go out and get drunk 3 times a week with your friends, or you're going to go out and have dinners with your friends and chill out with your family and relax and have downtime, guys, I'm sorry to tell you, but it ain't gonna happen. Because when you're chilling, I'm still working. When you're out drinking, I'm still working. Every single time that you take a pause, this is me going ahead of you. Think about that. That I have an advantage over every single other person, because at some point they stop working, but I don't stop. I'm just going bang, 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 bang. In life, if you want to be hyper successful, then you need to want to be successful the way that you need to breathe. And I can tell you something, when you act and you behave as if you need to be successful the way you need to breathe, you will be successful. Nothing can get in your way. The way that no one can come in your way of taking a breath, because you have to take a breath to stay alive, in the same way, when you need to be successful the way you need to take that breath, nothing will come in your way. Looking around the world, I can tell you one thing, there is graveyards of people. You know who they are? Talented people. There's nothing more in this world that you will find than talented people with unfulfilled potential. So don't sit there thinking if you're good at something, you're talented at something, that, oh yeah, I've got this now. You haven't. Don't be that person who had unfulfilled potential. Don't be a could have been. Don't live a life of regret where you look back and think, shit, I could have done this. Because you know what, in life, you only regret the chances you didn't take. So go out there and don't live a life that could have been. Don't live a life of unfulfilled potential. Let me tell you one of my own experiences with this, and in a micro way, in a way that anybody could relate to. I was 19 years old. I urgently needed money. I got a job with this company called Phones For You. They were the biggest mobile retailer in the UK selling mobile phones. I went into that job. On the first day, I went there and I found out that they had a top earners bonus scheme. This is the top 100 people in that company. Now, that top earners bonus scheme, I figured out that the guys in the top earners bonus scheme, they're earning $5,000 a month in commissions. They're getting about 1,500 in their basic. Plus, on top of that, they get a £1,000 bonus for being in the top 10 in the company. Top earners bonus scheme is top 100 out of 3,000 people, and the top 10 out of that top earners, they get a £1,000 bonus. So those guys sat there making about $7.5 grand a month. I went to my manager on my first day in that job, and I said to him, how do I get in that top earners bonus scheme this month? He said one word to me, impossible. In that first month, I was in the top earners bonus scheme. I was number 9 in the entire company for 3,000 salespeople. It was so unprecedented, no one had done it before. I'd never had a sales job before, I had no experience. And you know it was so unprecedented? Because the people who were in the top earners bonus scheme, they were people who had a portfolio of 200, 300, 400 clients who they had relationships with for years before. So they weren't in the top earners bonus scheme because they were just great salespeople. They were great salespeople and they had relationships with people who would come back to them and get their phones renewed. And that's why they used to get all this business. So they built up a pipeline over years, and that's why they're in the top earners bonus scheme. I didn't know that. I was oblivious to it, but I didn't give a shit. All I knew is I need to be in that top earners bonus scheme. We used to work in a shopping centre in Meadowhall, Sheffield. It was the flagship store of that entire region. We had 16 sales desks in there. The shift would be, we'd work 4 days on and 3 days off. The store would be open from 9 a.m. until 10 p.m. Our shift used to be a 10-hour shift, 4 days a week, so we did 40 hours, 3 days off. I worked for that entire month from 9 a.m. till 10 p.m. So 13 hours every day. I didn't work 4 days a week, I worked 7 days a week. I didn't get paid for the extra hours I did. I didn't get paid for the extra days I did. But I worked every single day that month. 30 days of that month, I worked. I got ahead of them by, when they were sleeping, I was working. When they were taking their lunch breaks, I was working. When they finished their 10-hour shift, I was working. When they took their days off on the 3 days a week and they were chilling out with their friends, I was working. So I got ahead of them, not by talent, not by experience, not by contacts, by being the hardest worker in the room. And that has been, throughout my life, that has been the pattern. And that has been the one key thing. It's the most difficult thing as well, because I have to cut out everything else. All leisure time, everything, I cut all of that out, I sacrifice it all to be the hardest worker in the room. And I guarantee you, you put me in any room, I won't be the most talented, I won't be the smartest, I won't be the fastest, none of those things. But one thing I will always be is I will always be the hardest worker in that room, and that means I will always win. Because hard work exceeds talent when talent isn't worked hard.